Okay. Let's see how this turns out.
With the box. Who's in the box? What's in the box? Not till you give me the what's in the box?
Hey everybody, this is Jason Robinson from 𝗙𝗡𝗟𝗏 by Design, and I got a package in the mail today, but unfortunately, it did not come as I hoped it would. This is from Blacklist Universe, Mike S. Miller, and although this isn't his fault, this is how the package came. Was delivered by my mail lady today. For some reason, she decided that even though this Gemini mailer wouldn't fit in my mailbox, she would somehow make it fit. So she took it upon herself to do some origami and try to fold this into, I don't know, a unicorn or a I don't know, maybe a centipede or a swallow, something. She gave it her best, the old college try, and she managed to fold it enough to squeeze into my mailbox. And this is what I got when I opened my mailbox today. So, yeah, let's see if the book inside, sent by Mike, has actually survived her little artistic endeavor. But hopefully, this is Mike's comic. Monster Hunt 2. I'm hoping. I've been expecting this for a long time. This is the sequel to Monster Hunt 1, which was done by Mike. Yeah, and I think in the first book he used characters from I believe it was not Graveyard Shift, was it? Yeah, Graveyard Shift, and also what was the other book? It was the book by Richard C. Myers, your boy Zach, and John Malin. What book was that? That was oh my gosh, can't remember offhand. But this is a sequel to it, but it's using different monsters than the first book. So basically, it will. I think it includes Lonestar, Mike's character, and Bigfoot Bill, which is Doug Tennapel's character, and also the classic superhero character Nexus by Mike Baron. I think all three of them are in this book. So I've been eagerly awaiting this book, and the book's drawn, I believe, by Matthew Weldon. So it should be very good. But the question is, how damaged is it? Thanks to the mauling of my mail carrier. We'll see. We'll soon find out. So I'm about to crack it open. Oops, hold on. What's that? I don't think I have all the tape cut, so I'm gonna have to do a little more slicing. Hold on. I don't want to damage it more than it already has been damaged. Let's see. Very well packaged, so there's a slim chance that the book itself is not damaged, but looking at the state of it right now, I don't see how it couldn't be damaged being folded in half like that, but maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. All right, here we go. Oops, upside down, I think. All right, here we go. Yeah, this is well mauled. I mean, the Gemini mailers are pretty sturdy, but the mail carrier did her best to crush this thing. Let's see, the top should not be flat like that. The top should be at a 90-degree angle. But we'll see what happens inside. Here we go. We're ready to see what happened to the book. Okay, the book itself is well, the book is folded. But I don't know, maybe it's well, it's not in mint condition anymore, but hopefully I'm hoping that the backing board took the brunt of the damage. The backing board clearly has folds in it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not pretty. This is not how I like to receive my comic books. in the mail. But let me flatten it a little and then peel it open. I do like the packaging. Mike has done a great job with the packaging, but unfortunately, even the best packaging can't always survive an intentional mauling by the people carrying the mail. Alright, let me just slide this out and see the book. Yeah, the book is... Oh, yeah, the book's folded. The book is folded. Can you see that? You should be able to see that little demarcation line there. Boom. Yeah. The book's readable, but it ain't mint. Thanks, mail. Thanks, U.S. Mail. I'll have to I don't know, press it down. See if I can salvage it. Yeesh. Ugh. Okay, I won't look too much. I'm gonna give myself the heebie-jeebies. Anyway, here it is. Look at this book. If the mail carrier had not butchered it with their grubby little hands, I would be extremely pleased with this. Look at this wraparound cover. There's Nexus, there's Bigfoot Bill, there's Lonestar. On the back, you got some cool other characters here. I think that's one of Lonestar's compatriots. Oh, there's Badger. Cool, Badger, the other classic Mike Baron character from the 80s. Awesome. And some other cool characters, but this art is beautiful, man. Yeah. This is Matthew Weldon's art is the main reason why I bought this book. He is a phenomenal artist, and I'm really looking forward to. Oh, it's written by Mike Baron too. Very cool. That's fantastic. Yeah, this is going to be a very fun book to read. So I am looking forward to it. Very nice. Very, very nice. Very nice. Cool. Yeah, so I will read this book. Oh, see, special thanks to Doug Tennapel and Mike Baron. Very cool. Yeah, I'm going to definitely read this book, and then I'll be back with a review for you guys to enjoy and, you know, I don't know, take of it what you will. But anyway, that's the unboxing video. I'll be back in a few seconds your time and with my review, and then, you know, see what you think. All right? Thanks a lot, guys. Be right back. Bye.
1 week later.
Okay, I'm back. Now, well, first of all, I want to say this book, despite the damage caused by my mail carrier, is a beautiful book. This monster hunt looks fantastic. The art by Matthew Weldon is phenomenal. The colors are gorgeous, and overall, it's a solid piece of comic book finery. The paper stock for this book is great. The this is a floppy, but it's not too floppy. It's this is cardstock. Very nice, and it's has like a how can I describe this? It's almost like a metallic feel to it. As you can tell, it's very shiny, very reflective, and it's not chromium, but it has that feel to it. It's a real heavy weight to it. Very nice. The paper stock inside is very nice as well, and it looks great physically. It's a beautiful book. In terms of the content, let's see. I guess a small nitpick. Obviously, it's written by Mike Baron, drawn by Matthew Weldon. Although I don't think their names, other than Mike Baron's here on the inside front cover, are spelled out. I don't see Matthew Weldon's name. His full name, oh, there it is, Matthew Weldon, there it is. But, that said, it doesn't have any, there are no credits for the colorist or the letterer inside the book. And I found that a little disappointing. It's like, who colored this book? So, yeah, that's a question that is left to the ages. I guess one day we'll find out who lettered and who colored this book, because they both did a great job, especially the colorist. The colorist, look at the colors on this book. It's amazing. The colorist definitely deserves credit for the phenomenal work they did. And unfortunately, they don't seem to have gotten it in the book, and they should have. Should have been front and center, right here with, you know, Matthew Weldon's name. All right. With that said, how is the book itself? I said, beautifully drawn. So let me focus on the writing. The writing is pretty good, but I have some issues with it. I guess my main issue with the book, the writing, is that in order to fully enjoy this book, you have to have a very solid understanding of all the characters in this book. And I'm not just talking about Bigfoot Bill, Nexus, and Lonestar. I assume if you bought this book, you kind of know who those characters are already. But there are other characters inside the book that they don't explain who they are. They don't give them any backstory. And if you don't know who they are already, and there are a number who I didn't know who they were, you're kind of left adrift and having to sort of fill in the blanks yourself and hope you understand. Some of the characters are from, I guess, Mike Baron's universe. When I say Mike Baron's universe, characters that Mike Baron's created over the decades that I wasn't familiar with, so I didn't know who they were, and I was just left wondering, it's like, who is this person they're talking to? What? They don't explain it in the book, so you're sort of, I don't know. And that's a little frustrating. And there are some characters from the Lonestar universe who, unfortunately, Lonestar 3 hasn't come out yet, so there's some, I sort of know of them because I was sort of given a sneak peek in terms of what might be happening in that book. So I understood who these characters were supposed to be, but if you haven't gotten that book, if you haven't read the book, you don't know who these characters are. So it's frustrating when you have to have such an intimate knowledge of the characters inside of a comic book that you without that knowledge, you're left wondering. It's confusing, and they don't explain anything about the characters in the book. I guess that's what I'm saying. Even the main characters, you know, Nexus, you don't really know who he is unless you already have pre-knowledge of him. Lonestar, you don't know who he is. You don't know who all these friends of his are unless you've read the Lonestar series. You don't know who Bigfoot Bill is unless you've read the Bigfoot Bill series. So it requires a lot of pre-knowledge of all these characters, because inside this book, they don't explain any of their backstories, any of their histories, what they do, why they do it, where they're from. And that's my main issue with the book, pardon the pun. It requires so much knowledge, comic book knowledge of these specific characters and their universes in order to fully enjoy this book. And that's unfortunate, because otherwise it's an entertaining book. There are some problems with the with scene transitions in the book as well. There's I'm not going to give any spoilers really, but there's a scene where, you know, the gang, the group of these three guys and their friends are making plans to save the world, and they're sitting at a table. They're all trying to decide what to do, and then the next page is a scene with Lonestar with some kids, and then the next page after that are them back at the table making plans again. And it didn't make any sense. It's like, why was this random page of Lonestar with a bunch of kids in a playground inserted in between two pages of these of this group of heroes making plans to save the world? It didn't make any sense in the narrative. It didn't make any sense in terms of structure. It was just like a random page just dropped in there that had no connection to the page before, the page after. And I was just like, what? Why is this here? Then I mean, it was a cool scene with Lonestar and the kids, but it didn't make any sense in that place in the book. It's almost like that page should have been in another part of the book, and somehow it got mixed up in the layout and it got dropped in a random section of the book it shouldn't have been in. So that was a little confusing. The transitions like that were a little sketchy to me. But overall, I would say that Monster Hunt 2 Let's Get Crackin' is a pretty good book. On a scale of 1 to 10, I guess I break it down into art and writing. Writing, I would give it a 6.5. Art, I give it a 10. Beautifully drawn. The art is fantastic. Coloring, penciling, inking, phenomenal. From cover to cover, it's a great book. Visually, writing wise, you know, it's not as good. It's a little confusing for me as a comic book reader who is pretty familiar with these characters. It's a lot confusing for anyone who doesn't know anything about these characters. It probably won't make a lot of sense if you don't know these characters. But the writing's solid. You know, it's good. I mean, it could have been better, but it's a pretty good book. It's entertaining. I will give it that. It's a very entertaining book, if nothing else. So let's see, 6.5 for writing, 10 for art. I guess overall I give it a honestly, I give it a 7.5. I'd like to give it higher, but it's just, if the writing could have been tighter, it could have been more clear, it could have been more, I guess, what's the term I'm looking for? It could have been more inviting to people who aren't big Lonestar, Bigfoot Bill Nexus fans, who have memorized all the characters, all their names, all their abilities, all their motivations, and unfortunately, it's not. You're just sort of dropped into the mix, and you have to sort of sort out for yourself, like, what's going on? Who's this guy? Who's this guy? What's this guy doing? Who's this weird guy? You know, and it's not the most inviting comic book out there. Because I remember, you know, growing up, I would read things like, you know, Marvel 2-in-1, or you know, Marvel Team Up. What they would have team ups between various heroes, and I didn't always know who the characters were, but they'd have some sort of explanation, some short explanation about who these characters were, what the motivations were, you know, what they were doing, or whatever. So even if I didn't necessarily know who Yellow Jacket was or who the Wasp was, you know, when they teamed up with Spider-Man, I got enough information inside that one book in order for me to have a pretty good idea of who these characters were, what they wanted, and you know, how they related to themselves and to Spidey himself. And in this book, it doesn't quite have that sort of those sort of connecting parts to it. And you know, but you know, that said, I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. And I mean, I kind of wish there was a sequel to this, because it's you know, I like these three characters together. I thought they were entertaining. I thought they were fun. Like I said, I would not be averse to seeing more adventures with these three guys and their universes. So I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe Mike Baron and Matthew Weldon and Micah Miller will get back together again, Doug Tennapel, and they'll allow us to see more adventures with these three guys. So, but you know, that's it. I want to thank Mike and Mike and Doug for allowing us to read this book. It's a pretty good book. I've been waiting a long time for it. It's been a long time coming, and I'm glad I finally got it. I wish I got it in better condition, U.S. mail, but I am glad I finally got it, and it is I just love flipping through this book. It's just a beautiful book. Oh my gosh, it's so well done. Anyway, that's my review for Monster Hunt Let's Get Crackin'. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the like button. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure to hit the bell for notifications of future videos. I appreciate it. I guess that's it. Okay, guys, you take care. Stay out of trouble. All right? Bye.